Hey guys, Redneck Computer Geek here, and John working on getting some tires off the front of this Murray for our latest project we're working on. And I just wanted to point out something, that right now John is pretty much in the circumstance that I was in about 8 years ago. About 8 years ago, the only thing that I had when I started doing what I do is that scissor jack. And John, show me the pliers. A few pairs of pliers like that, some needle nose, and I had a very small set of socket wrenches and stuff, and I bought a matrix that had the impact attachment. And that was pretty much all that I had about 8 years ago when I started doing all of this tractor stuff.
And that's also how old I am.
And that's how old John is. I started pretty much about a year before John was born. So this scissor jack has been here the entire time. I have used this ever since day one, and I really suggest finding one of these. But that is my point. In 8 years, we went from scissor jack to 4-post lift. And that's my point with this video, is as you're working on building up your stuff, figure out as you're doing upgrades, as you're working on things, figure out what the next alliteration or upgrade is. You know, from that scissor jack, I moved on to one of these half-ton systems that was just at Harbor Freight on sale. That allowed me to go and lift a whole bunch of other stuff. So I went from a free scissor jack that I pulled out of a car trunk to a $50 on sale half ton, and then from there later on, as you guys know, I ended up upgrading yet again. So we've got just a regular winch with the winch assembly up here and just a bracket welded on the back of the plate, and that ended up costing me like 80 bucks. But that's my point. Progressively, I upgraded tools as I was able to go and find the money. And the key being, I focused on tools that made my job faster. One of the biggest things that I ever did was I upgraded years ago to some sort of electric impact that would run a 3/8 driver with an adapter in any kind of form. Whether it's something like this, or whether it's something like this Brahmin. I've also got a Great Neck around here somewhere. But speed and accuracy is the key to being able to have a turnover. You know, if you can take tearing a motor out of one of these machines, and instead of doing it with just a regular ratchet wrench, like getting one of these motors out using nothing but sockets and a regular ratchet wrench, it is doable, without question. I did it for years, as you guys saw in previous videos. But when you can take, you know, doing this with a ratchet wrench, let's put it on a scale of like an hour or so to be able to pull a motor by the time you sit there going to nowadays, if I took this machine and I pushed it onto that lift and I had my impact, I can have that motor entirely pulled out of there and sitting next to the lift in a matter of about 15 minutes at the most. And that's my point. Is as you tractor flip, think of what tool during what you were doing would have made the job faster and more accurate and quicker to do. Example, these right here. Yes, you can do them by a ratchet, but just a cheapskate little $40 drill with an adapter on there, even just your like little 12-volt cordless drills would be able to pull those off in an instant. And that saves you time that you would have been spending with the ratchet working on it. Things like that are what you want to plan ahead for. The other thing is you want to plan ahead for bulk purchasing. That is the next big money-saving thing that makes the biggest difference when you're flipping tractors. Is stop buying oil by the quart, buy oil by the big gallon jugs or 5-quart or whatever the heck they're called. Stop buying transmission gear stuff for, you know, the little tiny tubes, and start buying the big giant containers and doing it by container. Yet again, doing transmission flushes on hydros. Don't buy it by the quart, buy it by the jug. Brake fluid is another prime example of this. You can buy PB Blaster by the case. You can buy CRC off of Amazon by the case. You can buy black Rust-Oleum high coverage paint by the case off of Amazon. As soon as you are able to buy common use things like that by the case on Amazon, do it. You can buy engine clean by the case on Amazon. All of your common things, the sooner you can buy it in bulk, the more that you plan ahead on buying it in bulk, the better off you're going to be. Case in point, belts. Another big thing that people end up doing in their shop is they buy belts at Tractor Supply, or they buy belts at Home Depot, or they buy belts at wherever. And here's a prime example, okay? This is for a 1/2 inch, 69-inch Husky belt at Tractor Supply. At Tractor Supply, these belts are about $16 a piece. If I plan ahead, I can order the exact same PIX belts. I believe they're by D&D now. They got bought out. Off of Amazon for $8 a piece. So I can get 2 belts for the price of one as long as I plan ahead and I have about 3 to 4 days worth of downtime for Amazon to ship it to me. And that's the other point, is buying in bulk. Wheel bearings. You're going to end up swapping out blown out wheel bearings. Figure out exactly what they are. Buy them in bulk. I'll post a link in the description below for those. And I'll post a link for some other things that I buy in bulk at this point. And that's going to be the end of this video. You know, air tools. Air tools are an easy thing to get as a hand-me-down. I started out with almost all of my air tools being hand-me-down tools. This air compressor I built out of almost entirely scrap. And I think we'll finish this off with my biggest money-saving build I did for my own shop. That 60-gallon air tank is a hot water tank, and I built the entire thing myself. If you've ever seen what the retail for one of those is, the fact that I was able to go and build that whole thing for under $400, that in itself is cost saving that you could be doing in your own shop. So there we go. John and I are going to work on our latest tractor hunt that we just picked up. I don't think it was in the background of this video, but it might have been somewhere. It's one you haven't seen here before. I don't think we've had one of those tractors here. Have we, John?
No, actually no.
Oh, it's a new tractor on the channel. I'm pretty sure. Yes. Okay, so anyways, have fun, keep tractor hunting, and keep upgrading your tools as you go. Plan ahead on what saves you time, what makes you more efficient, and then upgrade as you can. Every job, think of a way that it would have been faster if you had a better tool, and then plan ahead for those better tools. Have fun. Bye-bye.